100%. But listen, gentlemen, chats. Let's get into the first topic. Now, again, this is a bit of a rehash. If you've already heard my thoughts and theories, my speculation, what I think should have gotten nods and they didn't from the Game Awards. This is something that happens every year. They can't get it. Listen, on their best day, they're never going to get it right because somebody is going to have a game that they really liked that wasn't there. But talking with the guys in the green room and through our personal DMs over this morning, Umbra brings up a great point. He hasn't given his thoughts and theories into what happened with the Game Awards. And Jamie, of course, is going to, obviously chime in. But Umbra, because you brought up the topic, I want to hand the mic over to you first. Look, I have said this many, many times before, and you can clip me or you can go back and rewatch any of the hundreds of shows we've done. I personally do not have an issue with Geoff Keighley at all. I have given him his flowers as someone that I believe has elevated the gaming space as a whole to make it more mainstream when it comes to these shows. Now, look, I'm not a boob, ladies and gentlemen. I understand he doesn't do this out of the kindness of his heart. He's a businessman. But I also remember that when the Game Awards was on TNT, on cable, and nobody watched it, right? So to see the Game Awards go from there, right, to where it is now, he's done a lot of heavy lifting. Now, granted, let's be clear, if it were me, and I had his stature, I had his position, I would be a fan of a particular whatever, but I would also incorporate being a diplomat. Like you can be a fan of Xbox and not be a bot. You can also be a fan of PlayStation and not be a pony. And for Nintendo, well, you can call them whatever you want. Nintendorks, whatever. They really don't get in the middle of it. They are who we thought that they were. I'm a Nintendo guy. I'm a Nintendo kid for life. And right, wrong, or indifferent, I love Nintendo, even when they do stupid shit. But the thing about Geoff is that he does things that gets him in trouble with the community. Now, I'm sure he doesn't give a flying shit what Mr. BoomStick thinks or says of him. And I don't have any real ill will. I told you that from the beginning. I'm disappointed that someone in his position that holds such a powerful position in gaming would not take the better first step to not console war, because he does. He does things, and he does it in a way where he can easily, so there's that plausible deniability shit that goes on. Well, I'm not a fan of that. Be who you are and just come out with it. But again, the Game Awards is something I very much enjoy. Yes, I enjoy it for the trailers like everybody. But to be honest with you, as someone who will never make a game, as someone who may not ever be in a booth to record lines for a game or learn the behind the scenes to what makes these things, these magic things, so incredible for us, that takes hundreds, if not thousands of hours per year of our lives, I have to tip my cap to the actual awards. Now, when they're done right and you get a team up there and they're shocked and they're surprised by their win and you can see the emotion, I live for that stuff. And maybe you don't. And maybe because I'm getting goosebumps and I'm a big nerd, and that's fine. But I like the awards when they are done correctly. This awards show does things correct, and it does a lot of things wrong. And unfortunately, Umbra, like many times before it, it does seem, and I'm not being facetious, I'm not being finger pointy or even console worry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm being straight up just a fan. When you have two games that get 19 nominations, two, and I'm not saying they're not worthy of some of the nominations. I'm not suggesting that at all. I think Death Stranding 2 is another Kojima triumph. He listened to a lot of the fan base's complaints. He added more Metal Gear-esqueness to it. And, of course, Ghost of Yotai whether you like the protagonist or you don't. I think that I would have preferred to further Jin's story because I didn't play the DLC, so I don't know how that ended. I've platinumed the game and I was okay with it. But I'm sure, and I'm going to buy the game myself, it's going to be an incredible experience. The game is stunning to look at, and Sucker Punch knows how to make a good game. They just really do. But when you consider 2025, Umbra, as being one of the biggest years in, I want to say, history, because I can't remember a year where Xbox put out Xbox Game Studios, let me get that correct, a dozen games. Now, of course, not every one of those games is for you. Not every game is for every gamer, folks. I should get a t-shirt made up that says that. But the truth of the matter is that I kind of, in my mind, just sit back in my chair as both a content creator and a gamer and say, my God, what more does Xbox need to do? Ladies and gentlemen, take it away, Umbra. Let's get your thoughts on the Game Awards, the nominations, and any other stuff that comes to mind.
Well, as far as the Game Awards themselves, I mean, you get a bunch of categories. Some of them I do not care about whatsoever, like the VR, AR. It's like, whatever. That means nothing to me. Apparently, I was watching 108 Dragon, shout out to Lemon, this past Saturday. And
Good man.
Yeah. He was pointing out that Deadpool had made it, and Deadpool was just released like November 18th.
Yeah, it just got in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it seems like they don't even take it too serious. It's like VR is like, oh, well, got to throw something in there. Let's throw it in there. So I don't know. VR means nothing to me. The best esports team and athlete and game, esports, anything with esports, kudos to those teams. I just don't have any interest in it. Content creator of the year, most likely Kai Cenat. Most anticipated, obviously, Grand Theft Auto 6. So then it comes to other stuff. So we got like best RPG, which has Expedition 33 and it Avowed. So Microsoft did get nominated. They also has Outer Worlds 2 in it. So they're in both. You got Kingdom Come Deliverance and then Monster Hunter Wilds. And what else did they have? Best ongoing. They have best indie, best debut indie game. So I think looking at it, I can see probably Expedition 33 going away with maybe about 6 or 7 awards, much like they did at the Golden Joysticks. I am still in the camp of Game of the Year being Expedition 33, but it does have some stiff competition, Bonanza, as I told you all, I loved it. 9 out of 10 for me for Donkey Kong Bonanza. I hadn't played Death Stranding 2 yet.
My brother platinum that, man.
Yeah, I loved part 1. So, I mean, not part 1. I'm sorry. I need to get on that. But Hades 2, I haven't played, but I bought it, and I loved part 1 of that. So, and that ended up getting like a 95. So, like, it's clearly wowing people. Silk Song, played that, loved it. I can see why this will be nominated. And then you got Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which I haven't played, but I have heard many say that it felt close to a masterpiece. So it's 2 games I think I still need to try out. Well, 3. Hades 2 will be soon enough, and I can get a better idea of what I think should win. Currently, I would say Expedition 33 would be my pick. I don't think I've been changed off that heel just yet. And so that's where I'm at with it. What else? Let's see. You got best game direction. And I think, and so this is awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game design and direction. They could have a bit of trouble there, to be fair. And I see Split Fiction is there. Split Fiction actually probably makes the most sense for that when it comes to game direction.
I would agree, because that game is so unique and so like it makes your brain go like, wow, like almost every level.
For sure. Now they got best narrative, and I think Expedition 33 is right back in the ranks as possibly getting it. I've heard Death Stranding 2's narrative is pretty good. Although Kojima, he's kind of all over the place how he tells his story. It's very unique, but oftentimes like what? Like what's going on? With Die Hard Man over there, Kojima. Anyway, yeah. So best narrative, I think. You know how he always have these random characters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
that's what he does.
Yeah, he does. So best narrative, I think Expedition 33 might have that in the bag too. Again, though, I still need to play a few more games. I feel like if we're really going to judge these properly, you're going to have to play it. Those who voted on it, some of them we know did not play all the games that were nominated last time.
Which is something I have heard behind the scenes. Again, folks, this is just some inside baseball talk. I can't say who told me or how I got this, but I know for a fact that there are some nominations that were given for games that were not even played. Like literally, someone picked it and say, "Okay, oh yeah, pick this," but I didn't play it. I've heard that, folks. I'm not making that up. I can't say how I found out or who told me, obviously, but there's some inside baseball to, and this is widely discussed. This is not something I'm breaking any NDAs or news. This is something that's been discussed before.
Yeah, best art direction: Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, Yote, Hades 2, and Silk Song. I think Silk Song might snatch that one. Just best art direction. Depends, I guess. Hades, all of these are lookers. All of them look good. So like,
it's funny because what could have gotten in there. Keeper is another game that should have been
Keeper,
art direction.
I can see Keeper. Yeah.
South of Midnight. Whether you listen, the game is not perfect, but like the music is just incredibly authentic. The design it's a claymation that you don't see normally in gaming. It's like a stop motion. That's how I played the game. I know you can shut it off. I think that's a big miss if you do, but that's how many games do you remember or you can recall in the last 5 years that had that kind of claymation, that kind of animate? None.
It's only one that does the stop motion one that's close, which was I believe Spider-Man 2 or Miles Morales. Like that was the only one that did that allowed for that with the Spider-Man suit from the movie. But so now I'm looking at best score and music, and you got 5 nominees here, and I'm wondering why not 6? Because the game of the year is 6. So why is it cut off at 5? And if it's only 5, I don't understand how. Okay, so these are the nominees. You got Silk Song, you have Hades 2, Expedition 33, Yote, and you have Death Stranding 2. I thought I thought Silk Song's music was great for what it was. I don't think it was better than South of Midnight.
Me either. Yeah, I agree.
I don't see how South of Midnight didn't get nominated for that at the very least for music and score. Very unique songs, powerful songs throughout. Set the stage for it. I thought it was. I think that should have made it for that. At the very least, it should have been nominated for musical score. That being the case, with the ones that's listed, I think we can all agree Expedition 33 has some ridiculously great OST. So like their music score is excellent. So since South of Midnight is not there, Expedition 33 is what I'm pulling for that as well. So yeah, I think that's good enough for me to just on what I think should win. We can move forward.
No, again, it's just one of those things where, and this is gonna listen. I'm not trying to be console warrior at all. It just seems that both PlayStation titles, I got between the 19 nominations between them, are in categories because they just want to throw them in there. That's unfortunately, that's how it feels. That's how it looks. Is that the truth? Well, that's entirely up to you. You might think someone might be a PlayStation gamer right now in this chat, like, boom, I think you're wrong, brother. I loved X, Y, A, and B because, and I'm not going to argue with you. Everyone's opinion is valid. We may not agree for sure, but it's just, man, I don't know how else to put this, Jamie Moran. I don't know what else Xbox has to do to get into any more categories. They got 10 noms, and that's phenomenal. But they released 12 games. You know what I'm saying? And again, this is going to sound like complaining, but people are going to clip this and be like, oh, you see, like a boom is crying. I don't cry about nothing. I got all 3 consoles. I'm playing. I got so many games to play. It's almost to the point of ridiculous That's how many games I'm playing right now. I'm literally doing the cardinal sin of gaming. I'm running through like 6 games at once, and that sucks because I really want to enjoy. Like I want to finish the Outer Worlds 2, but now I'm in Call of Duty. Now I'm playing Dave the Diver. Of course, shout out to the studio, gave me a review copy with all the DLC, which I didn't anticipate. They said, "Hey, you want to try it out? We like your show." Oh, that's awesome! Thank you so much for that. I'm playing a bunch of stuff, and I just bought a bunch of other games. Like I need to stop, like honestly, but it's just, I guess you can say frustrating when you see the Game Awards, which may not be the most prestigious. I keep seeing that a lot. Well, boom, it's just the Game Awards. It's still one of the biggest and most watched. Right? Like it's a big deal. Whether you agree, you don't. Maybe you don't like Geoff, and that's fine. But the Game Awards are a really big deal. It really is. It is the biggest show of every single year that they have one.
Yeah.
And Xbox has 12 games that they released. I mean, you tell me, chat. When was the last time a publisher dropped a dozen games in a single year? I'll sit here and I'll wait. Because I can't, and I've been gaming since the 70s, ladies and gentlemen. I can't remember that being the case.
I looked it up at one point, and I don't think any has. I think the closest was 10 or something like that. And I think that was Nintendo.
And that wouldn't surprise me because Nintendo, they crank out games, and their games are really good.
Yeah. I'll say this too, but best performance, I would throw that out. Best performance, they got Ben Starr as Verso, Charlie Cox is you got Erica Ishii, you have Jennifer English, you have Konatsu Kato, and you have Troy Baker, who was phenomenal as
Indiana Jones.
Indiana.
He sounded like Harrison. Like
if
he doesn't win that, that's gonna be a travesty. I'm gonna be honest.
Now he's it's a tough one though, because all of these are like top notch.
Charlie Cox for Expedition was really good. I don't know what the female for Ghost of Yotai, because I didn't play it. I've only seen video, and that's not enough to judge. I'm sure it was phenomenal. Everyone that's there deserves it. It's not like, someone got a pity vote or something stupid like that. No, it's not that at all.
I would probably go with Ben Starr. Though
really,
I think he was phenomenal as Verso.
Okay.
Like his Verso, especially once you get to the more emotional bits and at the end, super emotional. I believe Verso was a real character. Like I believe he was a real person. He was like, I think Ben Starr is phenomenal in general though. Like he was great in as Clive as in Final Fantasy 16 as well, Jamie, which I'm sure you love. But
Jamie loves that game. He put 100 hours into that for sure. I actually just bought it on sale.
Yeah, he was
when I'm
phenomenal.
gonna play it, but I bought it on sale. Oh my god!
Yeah, get to it when you can. Final Fantasy 16 is fun. It is slightly repetitive depending on what you're doing, but but no, he was great as Verso. I think to me, he would probably be the one that I would go to Ben Starr, but I can't get mad at anyone winning it. And Troy Baker was spectacular as Indiana Jones. I literally thought, like, if you don't think about it, you're like, yeah, no, that sounds
you close
like
your eyes and you just listen to the dialogue, you would swear 1-to-1 that is Harrison Ford talking. I don't know how he did it.
He's good, man. I still marvel at the man doing Mark Hamill's version of Joker and Batman. What was it? Arkham Origins. He sounds just like Mark Hamill, even to the laugh. It's like, how are you this talented, brother? Like he does so many voices, and he's just great at it. Like, so I wouldn't be mad if he got it. If any of them win it here, I'm like, okay, hey, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm
we're gonna see
Expedition 33 cast. I will say that.
Yeah, well, listen, I actually think they're going to clean up quite a bit. They were nominated a dozen times. I think that they win more than half of those. I do think they win Game of the Year. Personally, I think they're going to win Game of the Year. I mean, again, this is. I don't think them being nominated as much as they have were anything less than what they deserved. Their story is amazing. The game is phenomenal. It's one of the biggest cardinal sins for me of the year that I just started playing it. I got about 8 hours into it. I got to the end of the water level, which is very early in. I just got my first, party member, that second party member, and it just got lost on me. It got not because again, I have to play that game. But listen, Jamie Moran, let's get your thoughts, and we'll move on to the topic number 2. We'll catch up on Super Chats, channel, and gifted subs as well. Again, listen, the Game Awards, a lot of people say don't take it seriously. It's the Pony Awards. That's something that has been, look, Jeffson is a PlayStation guy. That's what he is. There's nothing wrong with that. I want that to be abundantly clear. You can enjoy what you can enjoy. I just think that there's some real criticism that is there for some of the things that he does, some of the things he says, and the Game Awards. Again, when you have 2 games, you release 2 because they released 3 games in total. If you count MLB The Show, but when you release 2 games, it gets 19 noms, and something like Xbox releases a dozen games and gets 10. I'm sorry, man. It's just there's questions. Let's get your thoughts on that, bro.
I'll get this out of the way quick. I don't have a problem with Geoff Keighley. I think people have a problem with him that he clearly has a bias, even though he tries to be the face of the video game industry. Xbox will raise the price of something, he'll post about it. PlayStation does it, he doesn't. Xbox fires people, he posts about it. PlayStation fires people, he doesn't do it. Right? It's so blatantly obvious. Like, look, people can go back and watch this. When the Xbox Series X was announced at the Game Awards, right, shocked everyone, right? And when the camera went back to him, he was like, okay, that's nice. And then they went on to the next announcement. And then when Godfall was announced, and then they showed the PlayStation 5 logo at the end. It wasn't even the official PlayStation 5 logo. It just said PlayStation 5. He looked so giddy. He looked like a child on Christmas Day opening up a Nintendo 64, right? It was blatantly obvious. And you can watch it right now if people don't believe me. He made like 7 posts about PlayStation shoes, right? Like, come on. He made 14 posts about the PlayStation 5 Pro when it was announced. And yes, I counted. Like, it's so obvious. Like, the Switch 2 didn't get that many posts, and that's a new console.
Well, he congratulated PlayStation for 5-year anniversary, but he didn't do that for Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bias is obvious.
Yeah, it's so obvious. Like the 360's 20th anniversary just happened. Did we hear anything? Nope.
No, he didn't. He didn't
so
tweet
obvious.
about that. He did not. No.
And as someone that clearly wants to be the face of the game industry, right? Where we have Geoff Keighley's Summer Games Fest, we have Geoff Keighley's what's it called? Gamescom Opening Night Live. Even though it's a German show, we have the Opening Night Live sometimes in LA. Why? Why does I'll put that to the side for a minute. The Game Awards. So let's be honest, we all watch for the trailers. Like, everyone watches for the trailers. People talk about the Game Awards like it's the most prestigious Game Awards. If something wins Game of the Year there, it is definitive Game of the Year. And I don't think that way. I think that it's just another award show. It's basically if IGN did their award show just, on a stage with trailers. That's all it is. We're going to see some cringy adverts. We're going to see some Muppets. I guarantee we're going to see at least one Muppet that isn't Geoff Keighley on stage talking about some jokes in the game industry, right? We're going to have some celebrity on stage that doesn't play games. They're going to make some joke about microtransactions that one of the friends told them when they were drunk one night at a bar, right? That's what's going to happen, right? It happens every year. And it's a glorified sales fest, right? They advertise Steam sales like 40 times during the show. It's a 3-hour award ceremony. It's sometimes longer than the Oscars. My God in heaven, what are we doing? But, like, even some of the awards don't make sense, right? The Game Awards, right? And there's awards for games. There's awards for people playing characters in games. And there's awards for certain categories of games, like best soundtrack and all that stuff. But the esports game stuff doesn't make sense. So best esports game makes sense. Best esports coach, best esports team. These are dudes that play games. Why the hell are these people getting an award? Right? That doesn't make sense. So to me, like best content creator of the year, again, why is that at the Game Awards? Right, that just sits wrong with me. Like there's the Streamer Awards that is specifically for content creators. But anyway, Some of the nominations don't even make sense. Like South of Midnight. How is that not How is that not up for best original score? I
Yes,
personally
I
think
know.
Expedition 33 should win, but the fact it's not even nominated, it's not nominated for best art design. Same with Keeper, right? Just some of them don't make sense. And I guarantee you this, right? It is now November 25th, 2025. I'm putting this down. Grand Theft Auto 6 technically misses the cutoff date for next year's Game Awards. I guarantee you they're going to shift the date specifically for Grand Theft Auto.
Of course they
and
are.
It's going to win everything next year.
Yep.
But I think Expedition 33 is going to win basically everything it's nominated for. I think one or two people should win best voice actor or best actor, and that should be Charlie Cox or Troy Baker. Troy Baker is Harrison Ford. My God, right?
Crazy.
He is Harrison Ford. And the part that makes him more like Harrison Ford than people think, right? And most people won't realize this, that when you're doing an impersonation of someone, you already have existing material to try and copy them, right? Like if I've had a certain amount to drink, I can sound a lot like Christopher Walken. I will not do the impression here, but I'm not drunk. But I can sound like Christopher Walken if I want to, right? But I can only say specific things like Christopher Walken said. Now, Troy Baker went through that entire game, new lines, everything, sounding exactly like Harrison Ford. Even when he has to say lines in different languages, so when he's speaking Egyptian, he sounds like Harrison Ford. That's the most impressive part of that, like his acting ability. So, if we ever get any Indiana Jones animated TV shows or anything like that, they have to call up Troy Baker immediately. But best game of the year, Expedition 33. Best multiplayer game, Arc Raiders, without a shadow of a doubt. Arc Raiders is so addictive, my God, and I don't even like multiplayer, right? I think a lot of the nominations are fair. I think there's some that are kind of BS. Look, if you look at how many awards there are, a small fraction of them are actually given out on stage, right? I know people want me to do the Christopher Walken impression. Not today. Maybe in the future. But there's 30 awards there or something, right? And they give 15 away on stage, and some of them are rapid fire given off. So some awards are prestigious, and they should give them on stage to people, and some are not. Some people come up to a podium to get the award, and then they get another person. But some of them, they win awards, and that's it. You don't even see the person get the trophy. So to me, it's just a popularity contest at the end of the day. And we all got to tune into this 3-hour-long show for trailers. We want to see trailers for games we don't even know about. We want to see updates for games we're looking forward to. So, it would be cool to see Microsoft's games that I like being nominated more. But I think this year is actually more fair than others. The Outer Worlds 2, up for Best RPG. Great. Avowed hasn't gotten enough love this year. Every single post I make about Avowed, you should look at the replies. My God, there's people literally angry, right? People are just angry at this fantasy RPG where you run around with a sword and casting spells, and people act like it's the end of the world. It's no, it's a good RPG. Good choices. Your choices matter. The side quests in that game that completely changed the game. In the Outer Worlds 2, it's a brilliant RPG. But that's just my take on it.